watching Lions Chiefs on Sunday Night Football, something became very clear. Lions fans, don't get mad at me, but Jared Goff's limitations will stop the Lions from making the Super Bowl. Lions fans, look, all right? Just listen. That hurt. I hope you saw the hurt. Saying that to you guys, I hope you saw it. I love Lions fans. This podcast wouldn't be where it is today without Lions fans. I love you guys. You guys were the first ones to second ones. Bills fans were first, but you guys were right there jumping in my comments on our preview that we had about the Browns, bashing me for saying that would ever be a close game, laughing, correctly so, because that was insulting. The Browns? However, we're not talking about Browns territory. We're talking about the upper echelon of the NFL, and unfortunately, all of these teams that I think are competing for Super Bowls have one thing in common that you do not have. Whether it's the Bills. Let's go through all the AFC teams first. Bills, Jags, Colts. They've been good. Shoot. Rodgers even a little bit. We'll save the Steelers. I don't think they're real contenders. Chiefs. We saw it. NFC. Eagles. I know. Packers. You know. Who else in the NFC? I'm forgetting. NFC's looking rough. Obviously the Buccaneers. Seahawks. And you guys. But the only thing that you don't have that they have is a mobile quarterback. And you just see when things break down, when it becomes more of a fast-paced, a basketball game on grass, that has a huge impact. When Chris Jones is bearing down on you, the ability to move out of the pocket and just throw the ball away or possibly just complete a 4-yard pass is so crucial. And that's just something Jared Goff doesn't have. He wasn't bad. He wasn't. You could even say he didn't lose them the game. He was 23 of 29, 200 total, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 turnovers. You could argue that 2 other things lost the game. However, the thing that we've already seen happen with them last year specifically, I think, is those things happen. Whether it's the refs or the defense, and your quarterback at some point has to be able to keep up. And unfortunately in those games, when you see it, Josh Allen versus Mahomes, I'm going to just leave us out of it. But Lamar versus Josh, I'm trying to think NFC games. NFC games that don't involve us is kind of tough, right? But even a Purdy, that ability to move, Purdy versus the Lions, or the Lions versus the Commanders, like that ability to move and create extra points is so critical. And it cooks the Lions often. Just because it's tougher to create those big plays without it. And I think you saw it again Sunday night. Now, specifically to this game versus the Chiefs. You're playing the Chiefs at Arrowhead. I could have told you this. The refs not going to be on your side. They're not trying to see you win over there. Sorry. They took away the motion, which, again, they have to be set on the motion, but that was a tough play to take away. But apparently it's illegal. I didn't know that, but you guys are supposed to know that. Dan Campbell is supposed to know that. And Jared wasn't set, and so unfortunately, play doesn't count. Touchdown taken away. Tough. Is it funny? Because I watched the Chiefs go to the refs in the Jags game and say, hey, wait, we get a yard. Well, they knew the rule, though. You got to know the rules. Got to study. But some stuff, like that penalty, you're up 10-6. That pass interference on Travis Kelce, it's tough. Where the ball's out of bounds, and he just says, I want a flag. And they're like, He says, "Give me a flag. Don't you know who I am? I'm Taylor Swift's husband, future Hall of Famer, Travis Kelce. I want my flag." As soon as he raised his hand, there came the laundry. You're playing the Chiefs. Sorry. Part of the territory. And one thing you can't do, which this gets into our next point, that defense. One thing you cannot do when you're down 3 is take 4 extra steps and run into Mahomes for no reason. One thing you wouldn't like to see is one of your best defensive players sock another team in the face because he lost his emotions and now he's out next game. And what's just the unfortunate case with the Lions every year at this point is you're going to have 4 cornerbacks missing, probably 3 linebackers, and like 2 DNs. You're just hoping Hutchinson isn't one of them. So they clearly got to do something with the training staff. The whole team's dead. But defensively this season, they haven't been great regardless. They're 18th in points allowed. We were impressed. I was gassing them up for only letting up 30 to the Ravens. So really, that was 23. I think the Ravens scored at the end. To be fair, they did have Lamar in the bag. They did not have Mahomes in the bag. They did not have the Chiefs in the bag at all. Maybe they could have, but it's Arrowhead. Sorry, can't grab, can't touch them in Arrowhead. So for the Lions, hey, look, Lions fans. I'm sorry I had to say that to you guys. We're still friends. And you just play the Chiefs. Not everyone can beat the Chiefs. It's hard to do. Especially now that they have Worthy back and Mahomes is locked in. You're playing locked in Mahomes Chiefs. Next week, you have a chance to prove me wrong. Monday Night Football. 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Bucks, Lions. I'll be there. I'll be streaming, and I will be excited because it will be an MVP candidate in Baker Mayfield playing a great team and someone who was second in the MVP race last year in Jared Goff. And 2 of the top offenses in the league. That's a lit game at 7. And it's one where you can immediately bounce back, be atop of the NFC, having now beat the Bucks, and reestablish control. So, big game for the Lions. We will see if they can overcome the Bucks and Baker. It's going to be an interesting game, a fun game, and I can't wait for that one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please watch some of the other videos on the site. I've created a playlist with each and every football team, and every week we will be going over those games. I'm really loving this, enjoying it, and hoping you guys are as well. Of course, like, subscribe, and if anyone wants to sponsor, we're looking for Lumia Sports Productions is looking for sponsors. Shout us out. We will shout you out during the video. Thank you guys again for watching. Have a great day. Enjoy.